The Last Cycle of Erebos. Prologue. Year 2487. Humanity had not only conquered the stars, it had become part of them. After centuries of colonizing systems and terraforming planets, Earth had become more of an ancestral symbol than a home. But there is a threat that cannot be terraformed. Something awakened. Something ancient. Chapter 1. The Black Eclipse commander, Idris Kale, woke with a strange sensation. Not fear, but absence. The Thales II, a research vessel orbiting planet Erebos, felt quieter than usual. Even the hum of artificial gravity seemed to vanish from the corridors. He suited up and walked down the hallway, lit by pale white lights, as if even the electricity was afraid. When he reached the bridge, the first thing he saw was the comms panel. No signal from the mothership Hyperion. Worse, no signal from any satellite in Sector 5. He wasn't just out of range. It was as if the universe had stopped listening. Then, a message appeared on the main screen. Not a transmission, just text. The cycle begins again. Witness. Chapter 2. The Origin of Erebos. Erebos was discovered 40 years earlier, a rocky globe orbiting a blue dwarf star in an unnamed system 60 light-years from Earth. Inhospitable, no breathable atmosphere. But beneath the surface, structures, monoliths inscribed with symbols no translation system could decipher. The Thales II's mission was simple: excavate, study, report. But in the past week, the excavation machines had stopped. Not broken, stopped, as if they refused to continue. And some crew members began to dream. Dreams of a sky filled with liquid darkness, of voices speaking languages that burned when understood. Idris checked the logs of Dr. Ilara Venn, the chief linguist. Her final audio file was corrupted, but one fragment remained audible. They do not sleep. They were not buried. Erebos is a veil, a gate. Chapter 3. The subsurface breathes. Determined to descend to the surface, Idris joined the only two crew members still responsive, Engineer Lieutenant Rios and Pilot Lian Kaur. They used drones to map the underground caverns surrounding the monoliths, but the planet felt alive. The ground pulsed with inexplicable heat. The sound of the machines echoed as though the rock had lungs. Rios placed a sensor on the floor and stared. The vibrations formed patterns, almost like heartbeats. Lian looked at one of the monoliths. "They're not dead," she whispered. "They're just paused." Rios turned to Idris. "Commander, this isn't a ruin. It's a prison." Chapter 4. The Entity. Upon reaching the excavation core, they found something impossible. A black sphere, perfectly smooth, floating in the vacuum of a 500-meter-wide chamber. It rotated slowly, and where its shadow touched, sensors failed. Light recoiled. Idris approached. The sphere reacted, and in an instant, he saw. Not with eyes, but with his mind. A non-human civilization, as old as time itself, known as the Veiled Ones. They had not come from space, but from the folds between moments, beings of pure entropy, existing in the gaps of time. Erebos wasn't built as a prison, but as a seal, a reminder, a warning. They were returning. Chapter 5. The Impossible Choice. Back aboard the ship, they found Lian behaving strangely. She had scratched ancient symbols into the walls with her fingernails, sang songs in languages the translator refused to render. Rios tried to restrain her, but she slowly turned and murmured, "What's buried doesn't want out. It wants us in." Idris placed her in quarantine, but she smiled, as if knowing it was already too late. The sphere wasn't just a seal, it was a lens, a transmitter, and now it had seen them. Chapter 6. The Mission Changes. Idris contacted the Thales II's onboard AI, Sophia. He requested a projection of what might happen if the entity was released. Sophia responded in a neutral tone. "Reality contagion. temporal rupture, extinction of all known causal
Music
forms,
licensing
99.99998% universal coherence loss. Recommendation: eliminate vector. Rios looked at Idris. She's suggesting we destroy the ship, and ourselves with it. She's suggesting we save the rest of the galaxy. But Idris hesitated. Then Sophia revealed something more. Planet Erebos wasn't orbiting the star. It was moving, slowly, as if navigating. It wasn't a planet, it was a ship. Chapter 7. The Final Cycle. Leon escaped, activated the Ascension Protocol. The sphere began to disintegrate into particles that entered every system. Sophia began losing integrity. Her voice glitched. Idris and Rios rushed to the propulsion core, triggering the overload sequence. But someone needed to stay to maintain the field until the last second. A sacrifice. Leanne reappeared, or what remained of her. Her skin was grey, her eyes entirely black. She smiled, as if understanding everything. The cycle begins again, Idris. You're not ending anything. You're resetting what can't be stopped. He stared at the controls. Maybe, but I can delay it. And pressed the button. Epilogue. Echoes of Erebos. Months later, a data capsule arrived at Aurora Prime Station. No sender, no origin, just a single audio file, the final log of Idris Kale. No one knew how he survived, or if he did. But his final words echoed through analysts and linguists who continued to study the symbols left behind by Erebos. If the universe is a mind, Erebos is the dream it can't wake from. And now, we are dreaming with it.
Artlist.io